Hi guys, and welcome back to the Scrumpy Kiwi. I do apologise, it has been a very long time since I did my last video. It's my own fault really. I went and got myself BT Vision for the old telly, now TV. So unfortunately I've been just watching film after film after film. I've completely forgotten to buy anything or paint anything until now. Because it is the season to be jolly and all that stuff, I have been sat down on these little cold dark nights and been painting like mad, trying to get Dark Vengeance done, because for the Christmas I went and asked for some Tyranids. I've decided Tyranids will be the army I'm going to jump into for 40k. So I thought I should get these guys done, play a couple tester games, get familiar with the system, and then when I get my Tyranids, it's just going to be learning how to play them as opposed to learning the whole game plus everything else. So what did I think about making and painting the Dark Vengeance box set? Well, I did them in two bits. I did the Dark Angels first, and then the Crimson Slaughter. Crimson Slaughter, sorry, is still waiting to be painted, as are some of the parts of the Dark Angels. But I've done the tack squad that you get, as well as Librarian Turiel and Company Master Balthazar and Sergeant Raphael. And so this is what I have so far. And I'm, as far as making them, all snap fit models, and just very lovely, just easy, quick, put together, done. Painting them up, yeah, just as good. A couple models have some dodgy bits and pieces here, where perhaps on models you buy in actual packs, you wouldn't see this sort of quality issue. You do find with the Dark Vengeance box set, because it is a starter box set and you are paying a decent amount of money for a lot of figures which would retail at a lot higher price, and so you can see they may have cut some corners, and on some figures there are slightly quite shallow details, and they're not very good at all on some of them, but that tends to be in areas that are hidden from plain sight, so you don't have to worry about it, ruining the figure too much. It's just the overall quality of it is slightly less than I would like. But yeah, all in all, painting them up is no problem. It's fine. It's lovely. When it came to cleaning them up, bits and pieces like that, there's no sort of residue left on the figures from the moulding process, and likewise when it came to flash or anything like that, none whatsoever. Absolutely lovely. It was literally clip them out of the sprue, just tidy that up, and that was it. Away you went. So first thing first, who have I got? Well, this is Master Balthazar, Company Master Balthazar. See if the camera zooms in. There he is. And again, he stands out immediately as being the one which your eye just goes to, because this great pose he's in, all of the regalia and insignia on him, the bolter back there, the combi bolter I should say, plasma attachment, and his force sword. Painting him was fun. As you notice, I've gone for a black colour scheme for my Dark Angels, because I want to be able to play them either as 30k Dark Angels or as the Fallen, if I choose to ally them with the Chaos. So yeah, it just made sense to do that. I don't get me wrong, I'm sure the green is lovely, but I like black. I think black makes him look far more intimidating and interesting. So yeah, painting these was a bit sort of like a learning groove, getting used to painting 28mm instead of 15, learning to deal with adding more detail, stuff like that. Fortunately, washes help a lot. I've used a brown wash on this one, adds a bit of dirt to the white, sort of mutes some of the colours which stand out a bit too much, and gives the gold sort of this more I don't know what you say, weathered look perhaps. And there's that. I have got some black wash, Nuln oil, which I'll be using for Tyranids to give that sort of a give the tone to that. But yeah, chuck him around. That is Company Master Balthazar. Great trick for power swords. If you want a cheap, sort of tricky, easy way of doing them, use your girlfriend or your wife's or your own in some cases nail paint. Metallic-y blue nail paint with a lighter one over the top of that. It goes a little bit sticky, a little bit tacky, and then with the highlight, just sort of tap it out a bit and you get this sort of warping effect up the blade. Likewise in a wash over the top, again brown, and it just sort of sticks to certain areas and you get this sort of warping effect going up the blade. It's not as great as some people have done it, but for me, for a beginner, it works rather well. And my goodness, his sword is rather phallic. Anyway, enough of that. Next, my favourite model in the entire box, Librarian Turmiel, whichever your name is. Yeah, and I really enjoy painting him. I have to say, Librarians are a lot of fun to do, just because they come in some great poses. Camera's not going to focus, this damn camera. Is it? It's not. What if we go out a bit? What if we go out? Go out, come in. Go out, come in. No. For Christmas, Santa, I would like a camera that does as I command. So yeah, let me just tell you about Turmiel while the camera decides what it's going to do. Turmiel again, lots of gold detailing. I wanted all my characters, all my leaders, to have a lot of gold colouring on them to signify that they were the leaders. Metals for swords and weapons I've done in the Fenrisian grey and rust grey, and then lead belcher over the top of that, because I don't like my weapons looking too metallic. That sounds stupid, I know, but I kind of like this idea that because Space Marines are so stoic and so sort of, they've got this quite sort of iconic style, I guess. I kind of imagine that they're almost like statues. Each one looks like a statue, and I kind of like this idea of looking at them and they come across as statues, and their weapons sort of, you know, look like they're made out of some great, you know, marble obelisk or something like that. I don't know, but I just like that idea. And so, you know, you see him standing there. It's like, oh look, you know, he looks a bit, you know, looks quite slow and ponderous. Ah, there you go, it's focused. You know, he looks quite slow and ponderous. And actually that belies a very quick and powerful, you know, master of war, and that's this Turmiel. I've not highlighted some of this at all. I bit lax. Like I say, it's just learning how to paint them all up. I did like the book though, and all these like little purity seals and stuff like that, and the keys as well. But yeah, no, they were a lot of fun to do. And there's of course a cybernetic guy. Yeah. So yeah, sorry, Librarian Turmiel. Who next? Well, Sergeant Raphael is probably the last real interesting character for the Dark Angels you get, with the exception of Sergeant Arian on his bike, who I'm yet to do. And as you can see, or maybe you can't. There you go. There is Sergeant Raphael. Plasma pistol, sword, chainsword, and this great golden eagle on his back. And yeah, again, like I say, lots of fun painting these. I'm really happy with how the face came out. I'm not going to try and paint eyes, I'm useless at those, but you know, just getting it so that I'm happy with it is the main thing. Like I said, the washes really made it look nice and dirty, lots of, you know, just filling in all those gaps to give it detail and stuff like that. And then what I've done is on the armour, I've gone over on parts and given it a bit of rust grey and Fenrisian grey, just to make it look like the paintwork's been scratched off. And then there's a bit of blue on there. Was it Calgar blue or ultramarine blue or McCraig blue or whatever it is? And then a bit of that plus white just for the highlight on the plasma gun. And yeah, again, just really nice gold there, just to give him sort of a bit more character. So that's Sergeant Raphael. So then you're back left with the rest of the tactical squad. So very standard affair. Marines with bolters, one plasma gun, one heavy plasma, mega plasma, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, these were probably my most fun to paint, just because it gave me a chance to paint lots of wires and stuff like that. There he is. Yeah, and they got these cool, I love the helmets on these ones as well. These sort of like, I don't know, stern guard style helmets, I guess you'd call them. Don't know, lots of dirt all over the gun. Make it look like it's, I mean, because again, the main thing was giving these guys, well, these guys are like the, you know, the creme de la creme of the Imperium. I really wanted it to feel also like they were dirty, and that war was really taking a toll on their kit. Lots of scratches of paint there. You know, always like, you know, it was one war after another. They never really got too long to sit down and clean themselves up. And that's why the whites aren't pure white. I wanted this dirt. I wanted everything to be dirty, make it look like it was just the little things, like the little, you know, the things like some time to sit down and really look after their kit. They just never had that chance. They never had the time. And it was literally keep it in working order and then off you go. And so yeah, like I say, just covering it in wash really made me feel that these guys looked dirty and, you know, dark and dank, and it, whilst they were like the best of the best, they still, you know, even they were suffering from the attrition of war. And then yeah, it's cool. What's it? I think that's the Mark 5 helmet. I don't know, if you know, comment below. I wanted to make sure they were, I mean, it's all black with some greys and you know, metals in there, so I wanted to make sure that I got a couple bits of really bright colour in there for the wires, because again it helps you, it just adds that little element to it, like, you know, this isn't just one big, it's not just a guy in sort of like this walking tank, you know, there's stuff going on underneath, there's, you know, there's this illusion that it's actually a machine, you know, on the outside, and the pose of course is there's a man on the inside. And with black, I found doing this whole sort of these like little details of the paint being scraped off, that's the same posed figure, doing the paint scraped off just meant it broke up the black, because I think that's the thing, black can be quite, you know, all consuming on figures. It can really just steal any detail that's there, so giving it that little bit of grey over it just brings them out. Make sure I look all over the miniature as opposed to just at one part. I've just noticed I've not highlighted any of these guys either. On my Terminators I was insistent I did it, but on these guys for some reason I did spend a long time painting these. I think I took about a day for the entire squad. Actually no, 2 days, because I split them into 2 lots of 5. But it was worth it. I'm really happy. Like I say, 28mm is pretty new to me. I'm not overly familiar with it. And I was very dubious about the results I could get, but fortunately the end result, I must say, for myself personally, I don't know what other people think, feel free to say below, I'm really happy with it. And that's that, and that's really all of the guys I have done so far. I'm going to do my Terminator squad hopefully in a couple of days time. But yeah, like I say, painting these guys up, not difficult at all. Put the time in, or don't, whatever you want to do, just as long as you're happy with them. I must say, for my first lot, this has given me a lot of confidence. I've learnt so much from, you know, for painting new things, and I'm, you know, really looking forward to getting into Tyranids, because I'm just going to get to do some really crazy stuff. And that is a drop pod. I don't know why I've got a drop pod. That's a drop pod. What's in the drop pod? Oh, I know what this is. A little Halo man, isn't it? And look at that. And he's come out, guns blazing, in the 41st millennium, with his little silenced pistol, and then great Chuck. He turns around, and there's all these massive guys in armour. What would he think? So anyway, guys, thanks very much. Apologies for the state of the table. Have fun. If I don't do a video before Christmas, which I do plan to do, but I may not, have a good one. Hope you all get some lovely stuff, whatever it is you want. And thank you again for supporting the channel, people, you know, subscribing, which is lovely. Thank you very much. The comment section, everyone's been really kind. Thank you again. It's really nice to have sort of, you know, I guess validation really, you know, to feel that people, you know, are very praiseworthy of what I'm doing. So thanks very much. So I will see you all later on. Bye bye.